Besides changes in the body, there are lots of sexual thoughts, feelings, sexual desires, dreams and fantasies which start arising in the children's mind. And they are not prepared for it. They are not told about it, that these things would happen. As far as physical changes are concerned, very often they are expecting them. They know that father has grown, he has moustache and beard, so I am also growing, probably I will also develop moustache and beard. Or maybe hair growth in their armpits and around the genitals. They may accept it faster because they have had known about it or been told about it. But as far as sexual thoughts, sexual feelings, sexual desire is concerned, they are not even prepared for it. And they come like a flood. So when these thoughts are coming, children are first confused. Are these thoughts right or wrong? Should I welcome them or reject them? Should I enjoy them or feel condemnatory towards them? They also feel guilty. Because sometimes these sexual thoughts are for someone very close. And very often male children get their first sexual thoughts and feelings for their mother. And that confuses them no end. Because mother is the only woman in their life who has been so close to them, who has been taking care of all their needs ever since they are born. Every time there was anything required, mother was always there to fulfill that need. Now suddenly this boy is a growing adolescent. A new need has developed in his life. And habitually, unconsciously, he may get sexual thoughts and feelings towards mother and he is really, really embarrassed. He feels self-condemnatory. He feels that he is some kind of a pervert. How could he get these kind of thoughts about his mom? Now earlier, whenever he had any difficulty, he would simply could rush to his mom and talk about it, whether difficulty in school, difficulty with health, or problem with papa. Mother was always available, but this is one issue he can't even go and talk to his mom because it is about mom. And that really affects children a lot. It is necessary as a part of sex education that when they are looking affected, gloomy, they are distancing themselves from mama. There is no harm in opening up this subject and telling them that you are not bringing any of these thoughts deliberately. They just happen. You can't be blamed for it. And it is a common occurrence. As long as you are not building these thoughts, unless you are not acting on these thoughts, you don't have to feel guilty for getting sexual thoughts and sexual feelings. There is also a sense of frustration because the sex hormones are highest at this stage. Sexual urges are very strong. Sexual feelings are very strong. And there is almost a decade ahead for them to get married. So there is a sense of frustration, like body physiology is asking for sexual expression and outlet, but social structure is prohibiting. They are attracted towards full-grown women, but full-grown women are not going to be getting attracted towards a 13-year-old or a 14-year-old. So that builds a sense of frustration in them. Look at it, confusion, guilt, frustration. And there is no outlet. So very often they try to escape into either daydreaming or fantasy, or then they repress, or then they may go for experimentation. How do we help these children? They are 12, 13, 14. So many sexual thoughts and feelings. They watch television, they see beautiful girls, they watch movies, they see beautiful girls, newspapers, magazine. Strong sexual urges, they can't talk about it to their parents because parents have never spoken to them on this issue. They don't know how to deal with it. They require an outlet. At such time, boys very naturally discover masturbation. And even girls discover it. They simply notice that whenever they get sexual thoughts and feelings, their penis gets erect. They become conscious of the fact. And whenever their penis is erect, they tend to touch it in a manner that feels pleasurable. And in the process of touching themselves that feels pleasurable, a pleasure builds in their body. And there comes a point that first time in their life they experience ejaculation. That means their semen is expelled from their penis. This is a new experience to them. And what they have just done is called as masturbation, which is perfectly natural, normal and healthy sexual outlet. It is totally harmless. Medical science has proved it beyond doubts. There is nothing wrong. It has no ill effects on the body or sex organs or sexual function or the fertility of the person. It is not harmful, sinful, unnatural or unhealthy. On the contrary, it is completely harmless, inexpensive, and there is no fear of contracting any sexually transmitted diseases because it is self-pleasuring. The situation of the kids is almost like a pressure cooker. If you want to use a pressure cooker, but if you don't allow the pressure cooker's whistle to whistle, what will happen? Whistle is necessary to whistle. There has to be an outlet. The steam has to come periodically out, then only your pressure cooker is going to function optimally. Similarly, when these boys are given with these sexual thoughts and feelings and sex hormones, he never asked for it, he never applied for it, he was not even prepared for it, and simply there are changes that are happening in his body, he is getting all these thoughts and feelings, he doesn't know what to do with it. And we have never told them about it. Their situation is like a pressure cooker which is not allowed to whistle, unless they find an outlet which is harmless physically, inexpensive. It's going to be very difficult for these kids to organize their sexual thoughts and feelings. Of course, even in games there are rules. Even when child is told about the masturbation, he has to told about certain rules. The masturbation is considered incorrect in certain situations. For example, if it is done in front of others, just because it is normal and natural doesn't mean you can do it in open. If proper hygiene is not maintained during and after the act, even before eating the food and after eating the food we wash hands. It is necessary that children are taught that observe hygiene. Very often children tend to masturbate, semen is expelled around their body, maybe in their groin region, on their thighs, and if they don't wash themselves, they don't keep the cleanliness, they can develop skin infections because of the wetness, because of the stickiness. A proper hygiene has to be maintained. It is incorrect if it is done in the manner that can cause injury to the organ. A little adolescent boy working in a garage used spanner to masturbate and injured himself. So we have to tell them, do it in a manner that you don't injure yourself. And if it becomes obsession and starts affecting other aspects of one's life like education, career, relationship, etc. Anything, even if you get obsessed with drinking tea and start drinking 50 to 20 cups of tea in a day, tea can't be blamed for it. Anything can become obsession, including masturbation. So if it starts becoming an obsession, definitely it is incorrect. So we need to teach the children it is perfectly okay to self-pleasure or masturbate in your complete privacy. Do it yourself. Don't invite a friend and say, let's do it for each other in a privacy. No, it is a very, very private act. You have to do it yourself. Maintain hygiene. Don't do it in a manner that will injure you. And you have to observe the child that whether he is getting obsessed with it or not.